We're going to start off with the Huawei computers.
But yeah, from what I've seen from that, I mean, the technology's there. It's just the company, right? Are people going to trust the company? Just like we had so many issues with some of these overseas companies, like say TikTok on social media, right? There was a huge privacy issue with Huawei now controlling your phone and computer. Is there any potential there for hacking or spying?
Oh, there's 100% potential. I mean, there's what they say nowadays, like phone, if you even take your battery out, it's still, they can access it because there's some energy stored within the chips and so on. Without going too much technical in there, I mean, that's what some of the hackers say.
Yeah. I mean, the technology itself was amazing.
Yeah, but
again, it just goes back to a company issue.
Yeah, and then
we need to get Huawei immediately in the United States. Like, I can't believe it's banned in the U.S. These computers and phones are freaking ridiculous. Look at this computer. So it's literally like a tablet and a computer all in one. This is so nuts. And it's like $3,000. I'd buy this in a flat second in the United States. Look at this. And it folds out to one big monitor. And then you still have this screen. And it also folds out. Look at this. This thing is crazy. Apple.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Far behind.
So yeah, just give you guys an
And I
idea.
mean, we do have phones like that here in the States. I know a buddy of mine had, I think maybe Samsung. It's got the foldable screen, right? So that technology is here. But also, too, what's the price on that? I bet that phone is probably half the cost of an iPhone.
Yeah, just like their cars. But I think it goes back to the couple of things we talked in previous privacy-wise in previous episodes, is where how much our freedom of, or how much privacy we are willing to give up in the name of the convenience.
Yep.
It's just a matter of that.
Yeah.
I mean, are we giving up our privacy within the U.S. or are we giving up our privacy away globally, right?
Well, and you're giving it up, whether that's to any other Meta or Facebook, whatever they're calling themselves nowadays, or any other social media platform, or even ChatGPT, right? It's recording all the information you're putting in and saving that information and making a profile on you, right?
Yep.
So with that technology, I mean, it's just, do you know where that's coming from? Your own government spying on you, or the Chinese government potentially spying on you?
Yeah.
And what we've seen here in America, at least, is most people are actually probably okay with it.
Well, I think we got to the point. I mean, there was a point where we didn't even want our government to spy on its own citizen, right? So we didn't want the U.S. to spy on its own citizen. That was a big thing. It was just a couple of administrations ago, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And now we are like okay with it, as long as U.S. spy on its own citizen,
on our own citizens,
citizen. We are programmed now to be okay with it. But we're just not okay with some other country spying on us, right?
Yeah, but it's already there. We already know that China's already, a lot of these companies that, I guess you should say, a lot of the hardware's built outside of the U.S. for computers, and some of it's already kind of built into it to be able to send the malware information back.
Anything that's connected to the Wi-Fi.
Even the apps, give data back to a lot of these companies.
Well, even the chargers, some of the chargers.
And we've spoken on that on the past, too.
Yeah, and we talked about the chargers. We talked about your little robo vacuum and other things, because all those have sensors. All those, the new routers they're talking about, like the way the technology being used is to spy on how many people are in your house, like your thermostat, right? Mm-hmm. It detects if there's a movement in your house, and it'll set the temperature at a certain temp.
Yep. If
somebody's not at home, it will lower the temp. How do you think that's doing that?
Yep.
I mean, it's our willingness for convenience, how much we want to just say, I don't care about my privacy. It's all up front. Again, unless we want to go Amish.
Yeah.
You know,
But I mean, would you buy that phone?
no,
Just because of you, it's the principle of privacy.
yes.
You think? Okay. Raul, yourself?
Would I buy a Huawei phone?
The tech's probably better. The phone looks better. The camera could
yeah,
be better.
yeah.
It's a better quality product,
I mean,
possibly.
I don't know. I'm personally.
But
To be
you
honest
also
with
have
you,
that-
I look at it this way. Is my iPhone tracking everything I do?
Yes.
Yes. Is Samsung Galaxy tracking everything I do?
Yes.
Those are kind of the two major ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, now if Huawei, which is a China product, would that track me? Yes.
yeah.
And then they also have something they call WeChat over there.
yeah.
Will that track me? Yes.
No, so okay, so I think I get your point on tracking, right? So my thing is tracking on a personal level. It'll be one thing. Using our personal information to create some kind of risk in national security, right?
Yep.
So depending on your job, depending on who you're, if you're a business owner per se, and your clients X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and somehow using that leverage.
Well, that's the whole reason why the government stopped people from using TikTok on their government-issued cell
Exactly.
phones.
That's what I'm talking about. Is like, yes, for your personal convenience, yes, phone's great, but if you're in a business, I think it's just going to be more and more scrutiny towards where.
Well, I kind of wonder: is there any companies out there you guys are aware of that potentially are not spying on you? It's not built to design to do that.
So, again,
Phone companies, you mean?
Well, phone in general. Like for example, especially when I was younger, everybody talked about Windows and everything else, and Windows has its limitations. Like it has the ability to crash. I'm just saying from a functional perspective. And so everybody's like, man, if we get on a Linux platform, then they wouldn't crash. And plus, it doesn't have as many, I guess you say, a bunch of software on it. It's cleaner, it's quicker. And I know for a fact, like Ubuntu, for example, they make their own phones now. I don't know if everybody buys it, but they make their own phones.
Yeah.
So would that be a good option?
right, but. So here's the thing. Maybe I should wear a Grinch suit today, not Santa, because I'm not too sold on the thing. Is I think so. Here's the thing: Meta, Google's of the world. If they do they spy on us. They take our our data and they use it for evil purposes. They have to answer to U.S. Congress. They have to sit in front of them.
Sure.
They can still bar to a court. If this phone does, who should bring to a court?
But I agree with you. However, we saw even during, let's say, COVID, and if you talk about certain topics on these platforms, they just deplatform you, right? So
They
they
did.
remove you, and there's
But-
no congressional hearing on, hey, this is free speech, or you shouldn't be doing this.
There were some done where
I mean, sure, maybe
all
a
the
handful,
Twitter,
but
Twitter
and they
executives
let
and all
people
that
back
were.
on now more
Yeah.
so. But again, I think even with those rules and regulations, it's really not enforced. So that's
Yeah.
why these companies continue to do it. Because why not? Because I can collect so much data on each person and then turn around and sell that data and make money on it.
Speaking of that, I guess you say the benefits from it. For example, Huawei. Now they will in China, for example, like obviously we've seen some of the cars we played on the show in the past. If you have a Huawei phone and you own a Chinese vehicle, you sit in there, and on their display screen, everything will be in sync to what type of music you like, what TV shows you would like. And because it senses that you're in the seat, maybe it knows how to adjust the seat to your
Yeah.
setting.
I'm not against the technology. Technology is great.
Yeah.
But I think if that technology is somehow produced in U.S. or there's some control of U.S., I'm all for it. I'm not against the technology. I'm just the intention behind that technology. That's where I
And
kind
I
of
think you're like a lot of people too now. You'd actually be willing to pay a little bit more for privacy,
yeah.
knowing that you truly get that privacy and you don't get the data collection.
Yeah, I kind of miss BlackBerry at this point.
Well,
And I think there's a lot of people like you.
Well,
Yeah.
for example, the Tesla, I hear other podcasts talk about this as in they own a Tesla and it will drive autonomously. Now they sign up for a fee or however you want to call it. So if you use that feature, autonomous feature, all the cameras go on and record you. So are you willing to take away that privacy for that convenience? I don't. I mean,
Well, again, Tesla being the U.S. company,
you're
and
okay with it because it's
market
US.
leader probably
market
in
leader,
autonomous driving.
and
They need to collect
tomorrow,
the data.
tomorrow something happens or whatever, there still can be barred to a justice system within U.S. and they can be asked question if something
Yeah, so-
massively wrong happens, right?
So it sounds like you're good with, how should I put this? A U.S. company, you trust them to
Yeah.
do right with the data.
Yep.
Perfect.
Because there's
I'm with you, although I just think yes and no.
right.
Yes, I do trust most companies, but we know that most companies, even though they might say publicly they're going to do the right thing, behind closed doors, they're selling data, they're tracking you, they're doing all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
but then they
nefariously.
get caught, right? So they get caught. I mean, they may be using the gray area to do that.
Right, and they'll make $1 billion on whatever they sold, and then they'll pay a fine of $5 million, $10 million bucks on it, right? But
Right,
now your
right.
data's out there.
But-
That's always my issue with it.
Right. True. Yeah. No. But I agree that technology in that sense is great. It's just that who's producing it, how it's been regulated. My biggest thing is, can we bring those if something evil or they're used to harm somebody, can they be brought to U.S. justice system and asked questions about their intention and their actions? That's pretty much my.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. You're alluding to something that on the next topic.
Okay.
You're doing it
Always.
again,
Always.
Sandeep.